Hello, uglies. And welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real entity in reality and where you can always come to us first to quench your reality thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am so unprepared today. I am the most unprepared I've ever been in my entire life. I ran in the door, started this podcast. I did not grab anything to drink. So I'm not drinking anything. And I did not grab my cup mug because I washed it last night.
Oops.
So all of the things that I was prepared to do, I didn't do, but you can still get you a cup mug. You see it. David's got it. And you can get that cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And we do ship internationally and domestically in the US, so there are no excuses. And you know what? I'm looking at all of you all around the world, Dragula fans, because I know you're all over there. So get you some cup merch, period.
Yes, and we got China, we got Argentina, and we got the UK represented.
Period.
So all of you.
All of you.
But I am David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I'm wearing one of my favorite Dragula performers, one of my favorite monsters. It is the one and only Hoso Teratoma. I love me some Hoso. Looking at this, it's kind of hard to make out everything. Here's the face. It looks like kind of like a blob.
It does.
But that's okay. I love Hoso. Hoso is not loved by everybody on this podcast, but I think you would appreciate her talents, Lana.
I probably would. I don't know who Hoso is.
Yep. But I am drinking some water.
I mean, I have a water bottle. It's just nothing in there. So,
do you want me to pour some for you?
Yeah, give me just a little
Here
bit.
Here we go. Okay. Wait, yep.
Yeah, there we go. I should take the top off.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna take the top off. I just pour water all over my bed. Lily would run away. My cat's behind me.
That'd be crazy. We don't want that. But you know, we're here. We're talking about Dragula, episode 7. And it was an episode. Things happened. Some comments were made. Some people were upset. You know, typical Dragula this season.
Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the least dramatic episodes of the season, I would say.
And you know why? Because I wonder why this episode was the least dramatic. I think everybody lost their target, in my opinion.
Yep.
I think we all lost the target last week, and now everybody's trying to figure out who I'm going to fight with next, because we were all fighting with JK. Now JK is gone. Who do I fight with next?
It's pretty much everybody equally, as we'll see later on.
For sure. Absolutely. But first, before we dive right into this episode, why don't you hit that subscribe button? You spent this 4 minutes with us. You like us. I know you do. Come on. What's not to like about me and David? Period. So hit the subscribe button. Follow us, the shares. Please share with your friends. Let them know that we talk everything drag, almost all things drag here on this channel. And we put out content almost every single day. So check it out. And if you are a fan of reality TV, you can always subscribe to The Cup TV, where we put out content over there almost every single day about almost all things reality TV. And if you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, guess what? We have a channel for you as well at The Cup ESC, and they put out content over there. It's ramping up now. It's getting deep into Eurovision season right now. So a lot of content coming your way from the Eurovision channel. So check that out as well. Now we got all of that out of the way. Let's get to why you're here. It's Drag Race. I mean, it's Boulet Brothers. It's Dragula.
Ooh, a couple of boulets are rolling over in their graves right now.
Some people are very upset with me on that. I'm so sorry. It's a lot of drag content that we cover. It's a lot. And so I'm bound to get things mixed up. I'm only human and I'm old lady. So
yeah. Now
cut me
let's
some
back
grace.
to La Mastraga. I mean,
ooh. See, you see how it happens. You see, we got a lot. Anyway, Dragula, JK's gone. Everybody's fine with that. They're quite excited that JK
they all
gone.
predicted it.
They were like, "Oh, JK's not coming back.
Yeah.
Fantasia will be back, no doubt about it." We had a couple of comments that Niru was. Well, Blackberri said they were going after Niru because they were like, Niru is a big competition, and I want to take her down. And I was like, "Ooh,
I don't understand this. A lot of people have been saying this this season, like, I'm going to take you out. This is not like a competition where you can take somebody out. You can succeed on your own, but you can't take people out. I think the only way you could do it is if you're like, oh, I'm a front runner and I'm going to purposely do poorly in this challenge. So I'll be in the extermination and I know they'll keep me because I'm a front runner. That's the only way you can like purposefully take somebody out. And nobody's doing that.
I mean, I guess the only way, and like if you have a disadvantage, advantage that you give to somebody, like, yes, I'm giving it to you so you can have a disadvantage. But
yeah, Jarvis could say that. Nobody else can say
right.
that this season.
And Jarvis ain't here. So just saying. And the one time we saw some disadvantages given out, it really didn't do anything because the person still stayed. When Cynthia had to go to the porta potty.
Oh yeah, that too.
She still stayed, and I was like,
yeah.
And then Jarvis gave, but Ork still is here, and it's like, and Jarvis is not. So yeah, you really can't take people out. You just really have to focus on doing good for yourself, and hope they don't do as well, and whatever. But I didn't mind this exchange between Niru and Blackberri because I was like, at least this was like about game. This was like, I think you're competition and I need to take out my competition. That only makes sense in any competition you're in. If you see somebody who's a big threat and big competition to you, you're trying to take them out. That made sense. Then we went to Ork. And he don't like Cynthia. He want to take out Cynthia. And everybody's like, okay, that just came out of, I don't know. I think, like I said, people are starting to feel like JK is no longer here. Now I got to find a new person to fight with or feud with or come, go against. One pairing that we saw that's not brand new because this person's been on this person since day one was Throb saying that she wants Fantasia out because I mean she's good at what she does, but I don't think she's a monster. And I'm like,
you say that right in front of Fantasy, her baby?
Her baby?
I was like, what is that, a lettuce baby?
It looks like a lettuce baby. Because Fantasia does come back, obviously, and talks about how she wouldn't wish that kind of pain on anybody. She was like, she's a mother now. She gave birth to her baby Fantasy and talked about how JK tapped out, which she did. And I was like, woo.
I just put that together. I was like, why is she coming in here with a baby? But I forgot about the extermination.
The extermination.
It makes sense now.
Yeah,
it was like, that's so random.
If Fantasia is one thing, she is not random. She's like, I know what I'm talking about. I just gave birth to this beautiful baby Fantasy, and JK could not handle it. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, most men can't handle childbirth. That's why women are superior. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Wow. I know. I'm canceled today.
Cancel
you today. I know. Whatever. Cancel me if you wanna. But y'all know y'all can't handle childbirth because they did the little machine, the childbirth machine that they put on people nowadays to see if they can handle childbirth. And JK tapped out before they got to the 10, I think it was, or it was at the 10, I don't remember. But he tapped out. Fantasia was like, "That's why I am here. I'm to stay." And so to see the comments that Throb, because y'all, Cynthia Doll, she's so messy. Cynthia Doll is so messy. Like she literally like so Throb. This is before Fantasia even gets in the room. She's like, Throb, I know you said that you don't think Fantasia deserves to be here, or she's like, I mean, Fantasia's great at what she does, but I don't know if she's a monster, or, I haven't seen anything frightening from her, and da 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 da. And then Fantasia comes in, and we go through her whole spiel about the extermination. And then Cynthia's like, "Oh, but Fantasia, we were just talking about you right before you came. Throb was saying how you're not really competition." And she was like, "Oh, well, we'll see, because what I say stands, and I know I'm competition, and Fantasia was defending herself, Throb was defending themselves." I was like, and Cynthia sitting in the middle, like, I was like, "You're a mess. You are a mess." But yeah, that was pretty much the first half, and then the alarm goes off, and everybody's like, "Oh, oh, oh!" I was like, "Okay, y'all."
The self-producing of this cast.
The self-producing
It's
indeed.
nonstop.
It is constant. It's always constant. I was like, okay, calm down. But they go on and they're like, oh. So they go to the TV. The Boulet brothers tell them that they're doing a haunted 80s haunted house. And they had to be reminiscent of an 80s haunted house with all the UV room, because that was the thing. You couldn't have a cool haunted house without a black light room. Like, duh. And somebody who was around in the 80s, they're right. You have to have a black light room. You just have to. In house parties and and haunted houses, in any kind of raver party back in the 80s, you needed a good black light room. And so they had to make a costume that looked good without the black light, and then transform when they turned on the black light. So two looks in one. It had to be transformative. Like, once the black light came on, it should be something different, or it should look different. If that's how I understood the explanation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they haven't done anything like this, so I thought it was pretty cool concept. In fact, I saw like a clip from the Boulets podcast before I actually watched the episode, and I saw one of the contestants with the like UV light, and I'm like, oh, I really hope that's the theme, because they've never done anything like that. So it wasn't exact. It was very specific. Like, I don't think they needed to make it so specific. Like, oh, it has to be a haunted house. Oh, it has to be in the 80s. Like, I would have liked to see more liberties taken with the contestants, especially because we got some good looks that they kind of nitpicked for not being very specific to the theme.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it needed the 80s theme. I don't think it needed the haunted house theme. I just think the blacklight theme would have been enough. Just a scary, spooky, ghoulish blacklight thing. And I like the whole transformation thing. Like, it has to be one look one way, and then I like that, but it didn't have to be so specific.
By the way, Lana, I love the painting behind you. I love their wig. That blonde wig. Wait, look at the screen. It's like lined up with the Boulet's hair.
Oh my God. I was like, what are you talking about? It is, oh my God, it is so, oh my
God. I was like, your painting's 3D.
Oh my God, it really does. Oh my God. Okay, I'm not moving this
hilarious.
camera at all the entire time. Just to stay there. That's hilarious. Girl, that's her wig, baby. That's
yeah, get it, girl.
Get it, girl. She can take it off. She can put it
Oh,
on. She can take it off. She can put it on. I love it. Yes, girl. Yes, I'm
that's
so glad.
amazing.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm so
Sorry.
glad you pointed that out. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I took us way off the rails with
It
that, but
did.
I
It did. But it's
I couldn't
okay.
let myself be the only one to appreciate that.
I am so glad because that looks so good. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Love it. Anyway, I can't come back. But yeah, I didn't think it needs to be specific, but because what we did end up seeing on the floor show is that everybody didn't stick to that because it was
Hmm.
like how I don't know if anybody really stuck to that. I don't think it
Yeah.
was a 80s haunted house party, but it was a very cool black ultra black room like type deal. Like
Hmm.
I think we had a really cool floor show. This was a cool floor show. Even if I didn't like all the costumes, I think it was a cool floor show. But
I agree.
yeah. So after they get their assignment about the floor show, they also get a mini challenge of or a Fright Fest, their Fright Fest challenge.
Bright feet.
Fright Feet challenge,
Oh.
not Fright Fest. Fright the Fright Fest is a festival at Six Flags.
Hmm.
Fright Feet challenge, and they had to do a whole use a 99-cent store Halloween makeup palette and come up with a great look in 10 minutes. And they got a special guest from the winner of the first season, Coco. What's her name?
She's not a winner. Yeah, Coco was on season 4, and she was on Dragula Titans, but she's the Exorcister this
Exorcist.
year. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is her second time coming back this season.
Yes, I saw
I
her. I
love
remember
Coco.
seeing her before. Yes, she's beautiful.
Hmm.
She's
I will say
beautiful.
I'm not getting the Coco personality that I'm used to. Like she seems a little bit like reserved, which I'm very surprised by.
Hmm.
I think it's just maybe like some growing pains here because she's never had this specific role, but I want to see
Hmm.
that Coco. I love the feisty, like energetic, like Coco is a fan favorite of many people on this podcast, and I'm sure many people watching this podcast.
All right. Well, I will. I don't know her, but she seems very lovely, and she gave me. She was beautiful. I will say
Hmm.
that she was beautiful.
Oh yeah,
But
always.
Coco comes in to hope to judge the Fright Feet, and they had 10 minutes to put on this Halloween makeup. And I just want to know why did everybody decide to go take the white makeup, put it all over their face, and then just do like
Yeah,
I didn't understand that.
I
But
was
then
confused too.
I was very, I'm glad I am not alone because I was like, why do we take? We know it's this cheap Halloween makeup is gonna look real cakey and stupid.
Mhm.
Why do we take it and put it all over our face, especially Blackberry Fantasia?
Mhm.
I'm
I
talking to
know.
y'all.
I was like, it was specifically the black one.
It was the
I'm
Black
like,
Queen. I'm
this
like,
isn't
y'all,
working on you.
we know better than that. This white makeup on our face is not working if we ain't got the good stuff. We need the cream with the
Hmm.
base and the moisturizer to that ain't working on us. Stop
Hmm.
doing that. Stop doing that to yourselves because y'all know what y'all look like with that. It looked real ashy. It didn't look like me. It just made your face look ashy, and I
Right.
didn't like that. But then we had Nita who poured glue out of her hair. I was like, everybody's like, where that glue come from? She's like, grabbed it out of my hair and put these crayons. She said, I am not putting this makeup on my face, but what I'll do is put the makeup on my face by sticking the tubes of makeup on my face. And I was like, that's cute.
Hmm.
That's cute. But I'm like, okay. But after all was said and done, the person who ended up winning the Fright Feet was Throb Zombie. Gave us a whole pumpkin face.
Hmm. Yeah, it felt right. It felt like Throb, he really went for like the type of look you're supposed to do with this makeup. And he made it
Exactly.
work. Yeah, like it still was not like anything spectacular, but I did think that he
It
did
looked the
the
best.
best with the 10 minutes.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. And so Throb has immunity. this challenge. Has immunity for the floor show, and so yep, that was the prize, and Throb got it. So congratulations to Throb.
Yeah. I did wonder if this was purely Coco's decision or if somebody was whispering in Coco's ear, like a producer, being like, hey, be sure to pick this one.
I wonder too. I mean, we I guess we will never know.
Right.
Unless
Imagine
somebody
if she was like, Cynthia Doll, it's you. I don't
it's
even
you,
remember.
Cynthia.
Cynthia is like the one person I don't remember what she did at all in this.
I mean, she put a little makeup on her face on this side, and it wasn't that spectacular either. So it's okay. But so yeah, Throb wins. Throb is immune for this next challenge, and so they're like, let's just start getting ready for the floor show, and that's what they did. We get a lot of workroom stuff, and people will start getting ready for the floor show. We start seeing people's costumes, their looks coming together. We see what everybody's getting ready to do. We have a conversation between Niru and Throb. She's like, can I talk to you for a second? I need you to let me holler at you. I need you to teach me how to be more masculine, because I'm just like and he's like, I just need you to teach me how, because my costume, my character is a jacked up bodybuilder, and I need to be more masculine. And how do I do that? And I thought this was a cute moment because Throb was showing her how to do. She's like, I used the Dorito method, and I was like, the Dorito method. And when she explained it, I was like, that is cute. Make sure she said, square the shoulders, square them all, put your hands down like a fist to the side, and your core right in that middle of the triangle. You got to straighten that out so they can't hit you, and if you do, you kind of bounce back from it like And so they had this whole lesson on how to be manly and walk, and they're like I was like, okay, all right. It was cute, and it worked. It helped because she was able to pull off her character, I think, on that stage, and it was cute. It was a good moment for between Niru and Throb, I thought.
Yeah, it's always fun to see some positive interactions between people on here, because it's so much like negative interactions or even like overproduced positive interactions. But this just felt pretty genuine between both of them. So I really enjoyed this moment specifically. I was a little confused. I was like, why are we doing this? But I hadn't quite put it together that Niohuru was going to be doing this masculine character.
So. Yeah, when I saw when she was explaining and putting together her little pasty things, or making the consistency of the stuff that she was making. She was like, it's a jacked up bodybuilder, steroid guy, and I need to be more. And the funny part to me was every time Throb will put her in a position, she instantly put her hands on her hips. She's like, no, hands down, you're a man. She's like, what? No. She's like, no, hands down. Now that's so funny. I'm like, it is. It's hard for everybody to be like, oh, well, when I'm so used to be like, oh, nope. Oh, no, I got to be man. Okay. Man. Oh, no, but I'm a girl. It's so cute. That was funny to me. I thought it was so cute.
And I think this was when we also heard Neo talking about basically being so feminine as a child and trying to counteract that by trying to be masculine. And I feel bad because there's so many people in the queer community who've had to do that, like code switching basically. But I imagine it's an extra like pressure for trans people to have to try to play into a gender that they don't want to be. So
exactly.
I really like getting these personal moments. Those are always my favorite thing from these shows.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, go ahead.
There's one more thing that we got to talk about before we get past it.
Okay.
What did you think of Cynthia's cubes?
Child. Cynthia and her cubes, which were actually spears. But they were cubes in Cynthia's eyes. She was like, it's a cube. It's a cube. I mean, I have a cube right here. It's a cube, right? It's a cube, not a
Yeah.
cube. Yeah, duh.
I was
It's a
confused.
cube.
I was like, is cube a technical term for something in the material that you're using that looks like a sphere?
Nope, it's a cube.
Look at that cube.
Look at this cube.
Wow.
And everybody was like, "Is she? Does she think?" Orc was like, "Oh my gosh, she must be. Cynthia is not the smartest person because she thinks Argentina is in Mexico." And I'm trying to tell her, I was like,
And we
he was
got
like,
the
I
return of her hummus comment.
hummus comment. Yes, I was like Cynthia, but then it was funny because she in the confessional like, "It's a cube, right? Not it's a cube? No? Oh, oh." It's a spear, everybody. She just went back into her whole spear. Like, I have this spear and I put fur on it. I glued the fur on the spear and then I cut it in half. So it's a spear. I was like, not spear. And she wasn't even saying sphere. It was spear. I was like, girl, Cynthia, I need you to relax.
And what did she determine a cube actually is? She said a 4D square.
Yep.
What is the fourth dimension here?
I don't even understand. I don't even know what the 4D part is.
No.
No. Cynthia, Lord. God bless her. Look, bless her heart.
Bless your heart.
Bless her heart,
fellow
Cynthia.
Missourian.
I'm from the South, so bless your heart, Cynthia. Bless your heart. Well, I'm living in the South. I bless your heart, girl. But it was something else. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But then of course, we get
Attention competitors. Attention competitors. The floor show is about to begin.
Now this one was ridiculous. We had Fantasia pounding her boob on the table. We had Cynthia like, oh, 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 oh. I was like, everybody is acting just. I was like, y'all, yeah. We are in episode 7.
True. But what this reminds me of, they played that same sound during the Fright feat.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, for once, they're not acting like they really are out of time. So I was like,
you are really almost out of time. But yeah, I thought this one was. I was like, y'all are taking it over the top. Yeah, I think they get more and more outrageous every single week. I'm like, stop. While we was pounding our boob on the table, Fantasia. What is that? Why?
It's like a temper tantrum. I'm gonna throw my boobs on this table.
Throw my boobs on this table.
Seems painful. Yeah. Oh no, she lost her hair.
She lost her hair. She'll be back. She'll be back. Because we have to bring it up because it's time to do that. The Boulet brothers looking white and hair is very pointy and curled, but they look frightful.
They do.
Frightful and delightful.
Yeah, it's funny listening to their podcast each week because it's so often that Drac does not like their looks. And this was another time she was like, we didn't get what we had ordered, so I didn't really like this.
I could tell they didn't like this. I could tell. Like, it's some of the outfits where they look like you could tell they're feeling themselves. Like, they're standing there and they got the pose and and they just this one they were kind of just like,
yep,
it's all in the face. They're not feeling this at all, and that makes sense. It makes sense, but they look lovely. They found out later on in the episode that they do not glow under the lights. It was a fail. It was a fail, but. Let's get into the floor show, shall we?
Let's do it.
The floor show theme is ultraviolet umbras.
What is an umbra?
I was like, when I saw the title, I was like, what does this even mean? But I don't know. So I'm not gonna even try to guess what it means.
Me neither. I could Google it, but
I could Google it, but I don't really feel like it. Let's just move
tell us in
on.
the comments.
Right. Period. Y'all do the job for us because I don't feel like doing it. The first look is Throb Zombie. And I think this was a successful look. Honestly, I was like, it looks totally different from the outfit when it came out without the black light, and then when they turned on the black light, it transformed into something different. I kind of like that. I agree with the brothers. I hate the hat. I don't like the hat with the horns or whatever, but everything else I kind of like.
Yeah, I think Throb has set the bar really high for himself. So I do like this, but as far as like the standard Throb is set, I don't think it's quite up there with a lot of his looks. I was a little confused by this story too.
Mhm.
I think it could have been a little more straightforward. But what I will say is, I thought that he had one of the better transformations from the first look to the
Mhm.
black light look.
Mhm.
It was a pretty extreme difference, and a lot of them were not were
No.
not at all. So I did respect that. I gave him props there, but overall, I felt like it was a little small for him.
Mhm.
I would have liked to see something a bit bigger that drew my attention more. And yeah, the hat, it seemed a little cheap and flimsy.
I wasn't a fan, and apparently he was blowing dust, and it didn't work. We didn't
Um,
see the dust in the black light, and I was like, "Oh,
I appreciate the ambition, but yeah, another
yeah,
fail.
another fail, yet another one." But okay, scores.
I would, because I like the black light look a lot. I'm gonna give it an 82.
hmm I agree. I think I thought this was a successful look, even though it wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. It was still a successful look, so I
Mhm.
would give it an 80. I actually would give it an 85. Orkgotik.
Okay,
Mm.
so I haven't been here in a while,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I am a big fan of work. Um,
Mhm.
I heard on the Boulet's podcast, Orc was like, I don't really know what a haunted house is. So Orc did not know what to do here for this theme with how specific it was. But I will be honest, I actually like what he did. Even not really feeling like haunted house or 80s, I still think it's a creepy character, and I was very intrigued by it, especially with those lasers pointing out. I would not have had it work in the bottom, to be honest. Um, I thought overall it was pretty good, and it really displayed his brand. Um, so I appreciated that, but I don't mind seeing him kind of challenged by having to do an extermination challenge. Um, but yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I am after being seeing so many of this type of looks, I want to see something different from Orc because he's giving us the same kind of aesthetic. Like,
Mhm.
and I know that's his aesthetic and I get
Yeah,
it, but like the horns, you've done that. We've seen that. You've done it well. But everything doesn't have to be the horns with the like I want to see another side of Orc, and I don't know if we're getting that yet. I don't hate this look, but it's just not my favorite of the week. Um, I think the performance lacked a little bit for me because I didn't understand. I was in the same boat as the judges and the Boulets. I was very confused by his performance of it, but I don't think the look itself is horrible. I just
mhm,
want to see more from
true.
Orc, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree. The performance was really what was lacking here. And personally, I kind of like that Orc always stays true to his aesthetic. It really, like, I think each look that he's done so far has been different enough, but you can tell they're all from the same universe.
Mhm.
It's very specific to his brand. So I like that personally, but I get why people would want to see him switch it up more.
Mhm. Scores.
I gave it an 83.
Okay. I will give it an 80. All right. So up next we have Blackberry. What you think about Blackberry?
I thought this was one of her best looks this whole season. I was very impressed with this. So there's comparisons you can make between Blackberri and Fantasia because they're not who you would think of as drag monsters, especially we look through their Instagram. I do actually think Blackberri is more successful so far this season at really taking the challenge and just going for it. And yeah, I think this is absolutely one of the best looks. This could have won. This could have won for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great juxtaposition between the normal look and the UV look. Yeah, this was very strong. Blackberri has momentum. I think Blackberri is a potential winner.
I can see that. I can see that. I think Blackberry's doing a really good job. I think she's starting to rise at the right time in the competition for her. Like, I agree. I think people were underestimating her as a monster, and I think a lot of people didn't think, oh, well, she's. They didn't think she was a monster. They thought she was something else. And a lot of conversation we had in this episode about what is Blackberri, what is her thing. Like she's so good at, she's got a lot of things that she's good at, but what is her thing? And I was like, why can't she just be good at a lot of things?
And that's how she explained it. She's like, I'm like Barbie with a beard. I can be anything I want to be. And I'm like, okay, that's very fair. And you're pulling it off.
Every week she's doing something, and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, don't underestimate Barbie with a beard. Don't do that, because I think she's going to show that yes, I am good at a lot of different things, and every week I'll be good at this. You keep throwing it at me, I'm going to show you how good I am at doing this thing. And this was a good look. I really appreciate this look. I love the coat and the design that she had, and I like that she even put some of the paint in between the lines, so when the light was shone on it, it was like it made the whole pattern just light up. It was so good. I really liked it. I liked that she even had the things on the teeth, the paint on the teeth to make her teeth orange. It was so good. I thought it was a good look. I thought she did well.
I think my only thing is I wish she had used a little more paint on her face, because most of her face just kind of fades when the black light is on. Like you really see the teeth and you see the headpiece. But other than that, it's just pretty darked out.
I mean, but I think that makes that gives the monster of it all. Like it's this black face with just this stuff at the top, like eyebrows and head piece, and it's like it gives the mysterious of the monster. It's the transformation, because when the light's on, white face with dark, things at the end. When it goes out, totally black face with just the colors from the UV ray. I think that just makes it more monster-like for me.
That's fair.
But scores.
I gave Blackberri an 86.
I will give it an 87. Just to one up you. I don't know.
How dare you?
How dare me? I know. Next we have Fantasia and the Snake.
Yes. I really like this concept. I like the concept a lot. I think the execution wasn't fully there. But I think that silhouette, like as soon as I saw it, like a snake with huge boobs, I'm like, okay, this is very intriguing. It just kind of didn't really go anywhere. The performance was a little shaky, and like Victoria said, I think Victoria was the one that said, you kind of look like a frog with how you were moving. And it's fair. That's hard to do. We've seen somebody else do the same thing this year, and they actually slithered. They did not like crawl. We saw Pandora do that in Drag Race Germany. Also, I didn't really see much of a transformation when the black light was on. I think she was going for kind of a skeletal look on there, but it was so hard to see. Like I'm only just now seeing it, looking at these pictures. So yeah, I kind of think Fantasia was lucky she was not in the bottom two.
I like this. I feel like I liked it when the lights was on. It was like, okay, we see it's a full snake. It's I think when the lights went out, it was like we were seeing the inner bodies of the snake, and that was what it was supposed to be. And I got it. I think I do agree about the performance aspect of it. It was kind of a little clunky. Her feet were coming out the bottom. Like I said, it looked like a log just following behind it. I think the execution of it wasn't perfect. Like technically, it wasn't great. Concept great, because I do enjoy something weird like a snake with big boobs and curvy hips and a big butt, and it's like, but then it's still trying to sling. She didn't have the core strength because look, she's carrying a lot up there to slink around the stage, and that's a lot for her to slink through. So she didn't have that core strength to actually slither. So I get it, and it's hard to do, but I didn't think this was horrible. I think she is trying to show us that she can do more than what people expect her to do. But yeah, I think the execution was a little bit off and a little bit, could be better. But I still think it was a good concept, and I think she did okay. And like I do think it was a universe where she could have been in the bottom too. But I did enjoy this look though. Of course.
I gave it a 73.
I gave it a 78 because I still enjoyed it, but it was some flaws, and it was coming loose at the back. We did see that. But up next is Cynthia Doll.
Cynthia. Cynthia. Oh no. Okay, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's not very good. It's not very good. Yeah, I think she was clearly the weakest. Like, they didn't need to do an extermination. They could have said bye girl. Cynthia. I did think it was funny when it was compared to All Real Monsters, because I can totally see that. I do love those Q buys. I'll give her credit though. I think she was another one that had a strong transformation from the first look to the blacklight look. But overall, it felt a little too cutesy, a little cheap. I don't know. This just feels like not nearly elevated to where it should be on this show. And I hate that wig.
I'm about to say, she gave you that Party City bachelorette wig.
I hate those bachelorette wigs more than anything.
That's what I thought. I was like, ooh, David, they go like the bachelorette wig. But yep. And then he had the nerve to be rainbow color bachelorette wig. Not even one color bachelorette wig.
At least she wasn't in a nude illusion wearing that wig, because then that'd be two of my things I really don't like.
Exactly. I mean, but she is wearing tulle.
Oh, yeah, girl. I don't like tulle.
She is coming for your neck. She's like, David is going to hate my whole look because I'm making sure everything he don't like, I'm putting it on it. But no, I think it is very cutesy. And the fact, see, here's my thing. And I think some of the judging is a little, like, they were judging and saying it doesn't fit the theme, but they didn't say that about everybody. And I'm like, if everybody
fit the theme,
who fit the theme? Nobody really. Nobody fit the theme of an 80s haunted house character. And so they were very specific, like, you didn't fit the theme. You were a rave girl. It was cute with the Cheshire cat at the bottom. And I mean, I like the fact that when the lights went out, the teeth showed up and it turned into a cat. And we were like, oh, it was something different. I agree with you. Her transformation was probably one of the best ones. But the fact that it looked the way it looked when the lights were on kind of deterred that. It was kind of like, oh, it just looks like her cheeks just look dirty instead of with the lights on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like her face just looks dirty. But then when the lights go out, it's like, oh, that was supposed. I don't know. I don't know how you can fix that. And yeah, the wig is awful. The wig is god awful. Not a fan of the wig, but of course.
Cynthia, you better be thankful that you have a very good transformation, because you're getting some bonus points for me. I gave it a 60.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 60 as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah. 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 I'm sorry, I got a message right in the middle of that. I'm like, what is happening? We go to Nito and David.
Girl, I'm sorry, but this I love. I think this is one of the best things I've seen this whole season so far. Uh, she just really knows how to deliver a really good look. I like this just feels like such a like well concepted character. Whatever it is, I ate it up. She really delivered the masculinity, gave us Drag King. Yeah, it was just an incredible character. And it was a great transition to the blacklight look. And I really love what she did with her face there. Like that really, really popped. So yeah, I thought this was hands down my winner. I mean, Blackberri was great, but this was next level for me.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I love this look when the moment it walked out on the runway with that big headpiece thing that she had on, and then when she took it off. This is where I feel like Niru shines because her makeup is going to always be great because she's so good at this makeup thing that she does. And with the makeup, like what we were just talking about with Cynthia, when the lights are on and made her face just look dirty and it didn't look like anything. With Niru, her makeup still looked good. It still looked like makeup, and it still looked like she was doing it. Everything was purposefully and concise, and everything was. It was like it was supposed to be there. So even when the lights on, she still looked good. And then when the lights went off, everything lit up from that big monster's head that lit up to all the antennas on the head and her face. And it was just such a good look. And then her performance, my God, she was so raunchy and stupid, but in the best way possible. And digging into the doll and pulling out all these things and was going and jacking off and skating all over, and it was all sticky, and it was such a crazy experience. And I was like, I shouldn't really like this, but I actually really do. It was a good performance. She actually deserved and earned every bit of accolade she got this week because she showed out. This was a good look. This was one of my favorites.
I agree. And it almost kind of reminded me of a character from Silent Hill. There's like these pyramid headed things with like these big buff bodies, and they are so creepy. And I got that same kind of creepy sensation just from seeing Nero walk out looking like this. It was very effective.
It was very effective. I enjoyed it. Scores.
I gave her 95.
I'm just gonna give it a full cup. I'm just gonna give it a full cup because I feel like it is deserved. It's deserved. Period. It is deserved, and I liked it. I just did. So that's that.
She's got her wig back.
She's got her wig back. I'm gonna move up just a little bit.
It almost looks like a turban too.
Oh, it could be a turban, but I think it's a bang.
Okay, yep.
But yeah, so we get to the judges' critiques, and they were saying how the Boulet brothers want to spice things up because they were like, it seems a little too kumbaya in here. And I was like, what show are y'all watching? Because it didn't seem very kumbaya to me.
Well, they're like, this episode is kumbaya.
This episode
we could not have done this last week because everybody would pile on JK.
Absolutely. So they ask everybody who they think should not proceed further in this competition. And they start with Cynthia. And Cynthia says Throb. And then they go to Throb.
And I was expecting Cynthia.
I thought too, but no, Throb said Fantasia, which I was like, Well, you said Fantasia, shocker. But then we go to Blackberri, and Blackberri says needle because of competition. And I was
Fair.
like, okay, fair. Then we go to Needle, and
I was
I'm like,
expecting Blackberry.
me too. And no, we didn't get that. She said Fantasia. No, yeah, she said Fantasia.
Wait.
No.
She said, who'd she say?
What'd she say?
She said
Cynthia. She said Cynthia. Yeah, she said. I'm like, I had to go back and through. I'm like, yeah, she said Cynthia. Yeah, she said Cynthia. And I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, fair though.
fair. Then we go to Ork, and Ork says Blackberri. And I was like, what?
A little out of left field.
Didn't know where that came from. And then Fantasia said Ork. And I was like, when did that happen? Everybody said everybody. Nobody said the same person. Everybody said everybody. And I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess that's kind of kumbaya-ish because it's like, we're just going to be fair and everybody say everybody.
Honestly, it did feel a little self-produced. Like, I almost wonder if they planned it because I don't see how this could have happened. Especially nobody named each other, which is what happens a lot when this question.
Right. I would be like, well, like, you name me, I'm going to name you. Yeah. Like, you coming for me, so now I'm coming for you.
I named Lana.
And I named David.
What?
You said my name first.
How could you?
How could you? That would be me. That's
our guy's name, Logan.
Wait, I think we should name Jack.
Yes, it's Jack.
It's Jack.
No, it's Brooke.
Well, it's Brooke. It's Brooke. Absolutely Brooke. It's always Brooke. I'm just gonna stick with Logan.
Fair. Logan.
That's to say, Logan it is. That's a safe bet, I think. I'm sure Logan and Brooke and Jack would appreciate the shout outs that they just got. I do. But yeah, they all mentioned everybody else's name. So I was like, okay, that's interesting and weird, but okay. Because some of these people we hadn't heard no beef with. Nobody said they wanted to go for them at all this whole time. But whatever. So we get the critiques and we find out that the top 3 are Blackberri, Throb Zombie, and Niohuru. And Throb had immunity, by the way, just so y'all remember and recall. Throb has immunity and didn't even need it because he was in the top anyway, regardless. It didn't matter. I think that's probably why she was in the top 2. But I think her look was amazing enough to put her on the top as well. So
that's fair.
It was fair. But the winner of this challenge turned out to be Niohuru X, and I am not surprised because
deserved.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
She deserves the deserve button.
She deserves it. If I can get down to it, you deserve. Hold on, my thing is being weird.
Okay,
okay, I got it. It's coming. Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it. Yes, she deserved. She deserved because she ate.
She did.
And she ate. But we found out that the bottom 3 is Orkgotik, and Cynthia, and Fantasia. And the bottom 2 ended up being Orkgotik and Cynthia. And they're going to the Extermination. Did you agree with this bottom 2?
I probably would have had Fantasia down there instead of Ork. Maybe it's bias. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I like to see pretty much everybody be tested at some point. And this seemed like a hard one to be tested on.
I would have, absolutely not. See, this is not the show for me. I already know. Like, it was things happening way before this or Extermination. A few episodes, I was like, I would absolutely walk away. Like, this isn't worth it for me. Like, I'm not that passionate to be a super monster, so yeah, I'm gonna leave. But I think I would have left the first one. Telling me to bungee jump, absolutely not. So yeah, I probably would have been done then. But yeah, we get the extermination. They had to do a laser maze, and if you pick the wrong square, you get shocked with 10,000 voltage of electricity, and you had to get through this entire maze to get to the exit. And if you happen to pass out due to all the electronic shocks that you got, you're out. What? What? You want me to step through some lasers and get 10,000 voltage of watts of voltage shot through my body constantly because I can keep messing up. And then you tell me, you have the audacity to tell me that if I happen to pass out due to all the electric shocks that I'm getting, then I'm out. Yeah, no.
Okay, I'll just will my body to not pass out.
Like, what? These Boulet brothers are crazy, sick, and demented in the head. And this is not for not for me. Like, I would never. This is on my I would never list. Like, I would never go on anything that has the Boulet's name attached to it. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. But we see them do it. We got to go to the workroom or the lounge area when the conversations start going, because we start talking, and Cynthia's like, I'm sorry, Ork. I got to do what I got to do. And I'm sending you home. And Ork is like, I'm doing what I got to do. And I'm going to send you home. It is what it is. And then we get a makeup session between Ork and Niru, because they're like, this might be our last chance to be together. So, and Throb said it best. Throb, for once, I was in agreement with Throb. She's like, we might not be in the extermination, but watching Ork and Niru make out feels like we are. I was like, yeah, we feel the same way watching. At least I do. I don't know about everybody else. I was just like,
I'm still entertained by their show. Like, it's just not the kind of pairing we ever see. It's so bizarre. And they're two of the kookiest characters on here.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. I mean, I can do without seeing anybody make out like constantly all the time, but not that they do it all the time, but in costume. Now we got them in this costume, which makes it even more creepy. We got Ork with all this white thing, horns sticking up, and then we got Niru in this super jacked up bodybuilder look, and they look like,
Right.
I was like, I'm creeped out. Like, stop it, please. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't need it. But Fantasia asked Rob, like, what do you have against me? Like, what is it? Since day one, you've been saying my name. Since day one, you've been coming for me. What did I do to you? Like, Rob was like, I mean, I think you're good at what you do. I just don't think you're a monster. And Fantasia's like, I mean, monsters could be sexy too. And she was like, I mean, I'm not scared of you. By the looks you bring, I'm not scared. I'm like, all monsters have to be scary monsters? I mean, Casper was a friendly ghost.
Not that.
Just saying, all monsters don't have to be
ghost.
Scary. He's still a monster. I mean,
yeah, I think Throb just feels a little territorial, like knowing he's kind of built this reputation because he's well known in his circuit. I don't know, just that whole Dragula kind of genre, and I think it might be a little like, oh, so you do this other type of drag, and you're showing that you can just easily adapt and just be on my level. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I don't know that Fantasia is quite on Throb's level, but let Fantasia fail or succeed on her own. Let her like sink or swim. And she's been treading water so far right now. So I don't know why you're so threatened, Throb. Just let it go.
I mean, I think she's threatened because she's showing Throb that I can come into your world and do what you do, but can you come into my world and do what I do? Oop. Oop. So that might be the thing. And I'm like, okay, it could be. But we do see the elimination happen. We see Cynthia and Ork go through this maze, and they'll get shocked after shock after shock. And they're like, oh. But eventually, one makes it through. One don't make it through. We don't see them get all the way through. And they just pass out on the floor, so I guess they out. Because that's what they said. And then we see the B-roll happening, going through the haunted house that we saw earlier in the episode. And Cynthia Doll gets exterminated by both of the Boulet brothers with chainsaws, and they hack her up.
Chainsaws get me. Anytime I do a haunted house or haunted corn maze, as soon as I hear chainsaws, like shivers down my spine, I want to start running. So yeah, that's not a good way to go.
The chainsaws are, now we know, folks, chainsaws are David's triggers.
It sure is. By the way, I did hear on the podcast, Cynthia did make it through and actually wanted to go again.
Cynthia's insane. I just want to say that. Cynthia is insane. Crazy. But she did say that she would do whatever she needed to do to get to the end. And I think Cynthia was a great character on the show. I enjoyed her character, even when she was like a little too much and getting on my nerves. It was still entertaining, and I will never forget the cube. I will never forget the cube
and the hummus.
So Cynthia, you made an impact. You're great, and
I want to pay hummus to Cynthia right now by saying, "There's the door, bitch." No, I'll see you in Kansas City, hopefully.
I'm sure you will. But that is it. That is that. We have done it. We have made it through. And we will be back next week, probably same time, different panel maybe. But to talk about episode 8 of Dragula. While you're here, if you stuck with us this whole time, we appreciate you, number one. And number two, hit the subscribe button. We see you looking, and our views are not matching up with our subscribers. So if you're watching, subscribe. It takes a second to do that, not even a full second. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to let you know every time we drop a video, because we do drop videos almost every single day talking about almost all things drag. If you want to follow us on our other channel where we talk almost all things reality TV, you can follow us over there at The Cup TV, because we also drop content almost every single day about almost all things reality TV. And if you are a fan of Eurovision, we have the Eurovision The Cup ESC channel, and it's ramping up that time of year for all Eurovision things coming out as we speak. So go over there, check us out, hit that subscribe button over there. Let's build up our following over all of our platforms. And if you just want to follow us on our social media platforms, you can follow The Cup at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, because we have some funny moments, and we are going to be ramping back up our social media starting at the beginning of this year, in the new year. So be on the lookout for that. You want to follow me and David because we're kind of cute and kind of fun? You see our addresses down there, our TikToks down there. Not TikToks, our Twitters down there. Although that is my TikTok as well. But my Twitter is, oh, David.
I know.
Lame. Even I have a TikTok. Anyway, and my Instagram is right there. But follow us on, see, there we go. So follow us on our Instagrams and our Twitters. And that's it. So I'll grab my empty water bottle because I never got anything to drink. But cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. There's the door, bitch.
Bye.